Hey guys, welcome back. This is Audio Dungeon. I'm Tony Hansen, joined by Vinny Pro and Vin B. Today we're looking on TABLETOPIA.com at Texas Hold'em. If you're not familiar with TABLETOPIA, it's a great place to play all sorts of types of games, from puzzles to board games to your favorite games, all in a virtual interface, and it's online. Play anywhere, no matter if they're in a different state, different country. You can all play together. So on the interface of TABLETOPIA.com, you do have the video interface, which is on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. You'll see here. And we have it set for 2-player, just me and Viv. And you have the video, you have audio, and you have text capabilities. So you can chat along all different ways, and you can interface with your friends and competitors all different ways. So that's just one of the different features of Tabletopia. The others are, for example, the camera perspectives, which are pretty cool. So on Texas Hold'em, obviously you may have a few different players playing with you. And let's say that you want to look around the board, because the board could get extensive. I believe Vin is going to show you the player icons in just a moment. So I'm just going to put them out, for example. But you could set it up so that, for example, you want to see over here. And to set up your camera perspective, you would put Shift and then 2, for example. And then it'll take a screenshot. And it's going to save that. If you want to return to that, you can very easily. Let's say you want to go to this player over here. You could press Shift and then 3. And it'll save that. And then let's say that during the game, I'm looking at the regular perspective and I want to jump quickly. I would just press 2 and 3, and I would jump right to those positions, just like this. And then 3. And that's it. Pretty easy. So that's your video feature, and that is your camera feature. Let's go to Vinny Pro, who's going to take you through a little bit more about the details of working with the interface.
So the first thing you would want to do is you would want to set out how many chips each person is going to have, right? So if you want to get a stack of, say, like 300 chips from the hundreds column, you would right-click on the hundreds stack, right? Then you would go to the little hand icon, select 3, 4, 5, whatever you decide amongst your friends is going to be your chip amount per person, and then you can drag them to the corresponding player, and then you can actually stack them by highlighting over them and dropping them on top of one another, and they'll make uniform stacks. The next thing you would want to do is, once all your chips are dispersed amongst all your players, is you would go over to your deck, you would right-click on the deck, and then you would deal out 2 cards to each player. And that'll automatically go into every player's hand by hitting deal and then 2. So now you see that there's an 8 and a 6 on the screen, and the only person that could see that 8 and 6 is Tony. And in Vinny's hand, Vinny has separate cards as well, as we all know how Texas Hold'em is played. But as you can see, you do not see them on the board anywhere other than on your own screen. So now the next thing you would do is you would go to the flop. All right, so you would hit the take button, go down to the number 3. It's going to drop 3 cards on the board. Then you're going to slide the cards down. You can highlight all 3 of them. And then hit F, and it'll flip all 3 cards. So now you have the flop out. You would go around the table and bet or drop as needed. So as you can see, each player can just drag their tokens and drop them into the center of the table. And then when everybody calls, the dealer would then go back to the deck, right-click on it, hit the take button, click number 1. It'll take 1 card face down, put it onto the table, put it to the right side, and then you would flip. So the tabletop itself is very easy to manipulate and work with. You can pass the dealer token around as the hands change. You can also pass around the big blind and the small blind token to the corresponding player.
And as well, you also have the other side of the chips. That'll tell somebody that you're going to be out. And you also have the dice. Vinny Pro, you were saying the dice is for the dice version of Texas Hold'em, correct?
Correct.
So you notice that you have the hand in front of you. Obviously, the nice thing in Texas Hold'em is, for this version of Texas Hold'em, is that nobody can see your hand. You don't have to accidentally reveal. It makes that video chat feature all the more important. But when the time comes that you do want to reveal your hand, if you have to, you want to take the cards out, click and drag, and bring them out. Now, if you're playing a little bit more traditional fashion and somebody bluffs and, drops, somebody's bluffing, they want to drop out, you want to make sure when you're taking the cards out of your hand, if you don't want them to be seen, flip them before you take them out of your hand. So basically, as you're clicking, as it's in your hand, now you can see Tony can hit F on the card and flip it, and now when he places it out, it'll come out face down.
And there are many different features in the cards. When you're right-clicking, you'll see that you can flip them from there. You can lock it down so no one can mess with it if that's appropriate, but not really appropriate in this game. You could take the cards, would allow you just to put them up like you were doing the flop. That just takes them out in any number. You could shuffle if you have, obviously, a group of cards. You want to shuffle it nice and quick. You have the drawing, which this will draw it right to your hand. And that means just you and no other players. But if you were to go over here like we did before and you were dealing, you know, it's the symbol there is showing you that it's going to go to everybody. So that means that both players, in this case, we only have 2 players up. And if I went to 2, both players would receive 2 cards. And you have the rotating feature right here, which is very easy to use. Rotating, just you press Q or E. That's the easiest way to do it. And you can just see the card rotate. So that's it, guys. This is TABLETOPIA.com, Texas Hold'em. Check it out. Very easy to use. And we're Audio Dungeon. I'm Tony Hansen, joined by Vinny Pro and Vin B. And we'll see you guys next time.